What would you do if your entire family spent years tearing you down, calling you a failure, while worshipping your arrogant cousin who could do no wrong? Well, in this story, I became their punching bag for years. But when I discovered my cousin's dirty little secret, I turned the tables on him in a way that destroyed his marriage, exposed his lies, and left me finally free from a toxic family that never believed in me. This is the story of the black sheep who got the last laugh. If you've ever dreamed of seeing karma catch up to someone who thought they were untouchable, smash that like button, subscribe, and stick around, because this revenge story will have you cheering by the end. I was always the disappointment. The black sheep. Growing up, my cousins became doctors, professors, creatives changing the world. Me. I built a small stream of passive income, worked part-time in a cafe, and rented a modest one-bedroom in New York City. And honestly, I was fine with that. I had a loving partner, a roof over my head, and enough money to enjoy my life. But to my family, that wasn't enough. Every gathering was the same, snide comments, constant comparisons, and the inevitable, "Why can't you be more like Randy?" Ah, Randy. My golden boy cousin. Imagine the worst kind of dude, bro, rich because daddy handed him a business, smug because he thought he earned it. Multiply that arrogance by 10, and you've got Randy. He loved reminding me how much better he was. My shitty cafe job. My pudgy girlfriend. My wasted potential. He thrived on tearing me down while the rest of the family laughed along. And for years, I just swallowed it. But life has a way of handing you an opportunity, if you're patient enough to wait. One random day, I was walking through the city when I saw him. Randy. But he wasn't alone. He was strolling arm in arm with a woman who definitely wasn't his wife. They were laughing, touching, stealing kisses like high school kids sneaking behind the gym. At first, I thought, no way. He wouldn't. But then I remembered who Randy really was. Curiosity turned to anger. And anger turned to action. I followed them. For 5 hours. Through coffee shops, into a park, down busy streets. And eventually, into a hotel. My phone became my weapon, photo after photo capturing Randy's betrayal. That night, I checked his Facebook. Sure enough, he'd posted about being in the city for business. His wife had even commented. He was bold enough to brag online while sneaking around behind her back. I knew right then, I wasn't going to waste this gift. I held on to those photos for 6 months. 6 long, careful months. Every family gathering, every insult, every smug laugh from Randy, I just bit my tongue and smiled. Because I knew something they didn't, the bomb I was sitting on, and I was going to drop it at the perfect moment. Christmas finally came. The entire family gathered around a long, decorated table, laughter bouncing off the walls. Randy was at the head of the table, smug as ever, wife at his side, kids unwrapping presents. He looked untouchable. I reached into my bag. My heart pounded, my palms slick with sweat. And then, thump. A stack of printed photos slid across the table, landing right in front of Randy's wife. She picked them up. One by one. Her face drained of color. Her hands began to shake. Then, she exploded. "What is this, Randy? Who is she?" The room went silent before erupting into chaos. Screaming. Crying. Chairs scraping across the floor. Randy's face twisted from shock to rage, and then to pure panic as everyone saw the evidence. But before he could lunge at me, his father did. The man actually hit me, hard enough to give me a black eye. That's when the police were called. Questions flew, accusations spilled, and in the end, my partner and I were told to leave. But it didn't matter. Because the damage was done. The fallout was glorious. Randy's wife divorced him. He lost custody of his kids after threatening her during the split, and his carefully curated, perfect family man image shattered. Meanwhile, my family turned on me. Except for Randy's ex-wife and one other cousin, the rest cut me off completely. They tried to guilt me into apologizing, saying I'd ruined the family. But my response was always the same: I'm not apologizing for exposing a cheating piece of trash. And honestly, getting cut off was the best thing that ever happened to me. Because while they chose Randy, I found something better, a real family. Randy's ex-wife and I became close friends. Her kids even call me uncle. My partner and I eventually got married, surrounded by people who actually love me unconditionally. And my biological family? They only tried to come crawling back once they saw I'd moved on. But by then, I was done. Their punching bag was gone forever. I finally had the life I always wanted, and all it took was one Christmas gift no one will ever forget. The look on Randy's face that night, when his perfect little world came crashing down, was worth every insult, every jab, every painful moment of being their scapegoat. In that instant, all the years of humiliation flipped back onto him. For once, the golden boy wasn't untouchable. And I was no longer the black sheep. I was free. Sometimes, the sweetest revenge isn't just exposing the truth, it's walking away from the people who never valued you in the first place. I lost a toxic family, but gained a better one in return. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button and tell me in the comments, have you ever seen karma catch up to someone who thought they'd never get caught? And don't forget to subscribe for more real-life revenge stories that prove, justice always finds a way.